Hey there, it's Ruthie from RuthieGray.mom, and welcome to Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy, your mom can do it. This is the podcast that teaches you how to authentically deliver your message in a non-pushy way. If you want to receive engagement and investment on your Insta time, listen in. And now, here's your host, me, Ruthie Gray. Hey, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and we're just pushing forward to get out of 2020, right, y'all? I mean, come on, enough is enough. Let's get on with it. 2021 is on the horizon. Woo! Okay, well, anyway, before we get started, I just want to mention how you can access my Instagram Insider community in case you missed the big reveal. It's a 12-week intensive with Zoom hot seats, a supportive community, strategies to attract your target market, and an unbelievable bonus hashtag tool. So if you have a working knowledge of the platform, but you can't grow your following, and if you're ready to learn elevated tactics to take your Instagram to the next level, then right now, before listening to anything else, go right now to the show notes and click on the Insider Intensive link to see if it's a fit for you. It's my 12-week intensive that starts January 4th. But if you're listening to this on Cyber Monday, doors close tonight at midnight for my Black Friday sale. So go check it out. Like I said, the intensive starts January 4th and goes for 12 weeks, but you'll gain immediate access to my hashtag formula toolkit today, so that you can start nailing down your hashtags and get in front of your target market quickly and smoothly. Members are already seeing results in as little as 1 day. You can even watch my stories for these little testimonies. People are moving the needle forward on the hashtag front. Yeah, that's what I'm all about, right? All right. Commercial is over. Just go check it out if you think you're interested in growing your platform at all on Instagram in 2021. Now, today's guest is the perfect person to chat all things collaboration and productivity because she does both so well. Christa Hutchins of Do a New Thing is a productivity coach for Christian women leaders and communicators. Christa and I have collaborated on several projects together to grow our businesses, and she's one of the first colleagues to help me get the word out about my Instagram business. So if you're trying to grow your Instagram account and propel your business forward, this is the episode for you. You're going to learn how Christa uses Instagram Live to get in front of not only her target audience, but also to catch the attention of bigger influencers on the platform. Her account has grown and thrived during COVID-19, resulting in even more business and followers. When you hear her productivity hacks, it'll leave you wanting to know more about how to use them in a targeted way on Instagram like she does. So stay tuned to the end because I have a special announcement for how to get in on that. And now, let's listen in. First of all, Christa, tell us what you do. What is your brand and your message?
Yeah, I am a coach for Christian women who communicate and lead. And so I help them put some strategy and some structure around their big, messy ideas so they can make progress on their goals and their projects. And so I do that with coaching, a mastermind, my blog, hopefully on my Instagram. So yeah, that's what I do.
And that is so important. And a lot of times we get bogged down by the details and we really don't know which thing to do first to figure out what's going to move the needle forward.
Yeah, we have to really work hard at understanding. I mean, a lot of people talk about know your purpose, know your why, and I talk about that as well, and that's really important. But then we need to take it to the next level down. Okay, I know what my purpose are. What are the 3 or 4 things that I'm going to do to achieve that purpose? And then start making to-do lists and plans for each one of those areas.
So Christa and we've known each other for several years. We collaborate together on different things, and we've done several lives together. And I would like for you, Christa, I have watched you grow your Instagram account, and you use it. It's powerful how you use it for your brand and for your message. So first, take us back to when, in the early days of your Instagram account, what you were doing and what were you struggling with?
Oh, I was struggling with everything because I just didn't get it. I didn't understand Instagram. And, of course, I was comfortable over on Facebook. And I knew pretty much what to do there. But I also work a full-time job. So for me, time is really important and I have to prioritize where I spend my time. And so Instagram was way low on the priority. And so it was just very hit. If you go way back to the beginning of my feed, you'll see it's just kind of very hit and miss and tried several things and just didn't ever really stick. But then I guess it's been almost 2 years ago that I really realized that my audience that I thought was on Facebook, that they were moving to Instagram. And so I wanted to move with them. So I started to try to get more intentional about Instagram, but I still didn't understand it. And I definitely didn't understand stories. I didn't see the point. I thought it was silly. I didn't get it. And so I started just trying to get my feed going and be consistent in posting. That was the first hurdle, was just to be consistently showing up.
And that's what I tell people all the time. They're like, I don't know what to do. I can't make it work. The first step is just start doing something, just forward motion, and just be consistent on that one thing and then build on that. Is that what you found too?
Yeah, that's why I started in the feed and I started to get consistent in posting in the feed. Then I took your Instagram Stories challenge, which I recommend to all of my clients. Whenever any of my clients talk about starting to go on Instagram, I'm like, okay, the power of Instagram for building a brand, I believe, is in stories. And so go take Ruthie's Stories challenge right now, because that will help you more than anything else, not only to learn the mechanics of how to use stories, like what buttons do you push and how does it work, but also to understand the strategy behind stories and how you can use those best for your brand. So that was a huge help for me using the challenge to learn how to do stories. And then I started using them. I use stories for a lot of different types of content. I think that's an important part of stories. It's not all talking. It's not all sharing. It's not all funny memes. It's not all behind the scenes. It's always a good mix of things on stories.
Agreed. And what Christa is talking about is my 7-day Instagram story challenge, which you can sign up for. Hit my link in bio. You'll see it there, or you can just send me a DM and I'll send you the challenge. And I have many people all the time that are taking this challenge and just, they can't believe it. They can change the color of their page. They can add funny GIFs, and that's how you start. You just start using it, and then you start implementing it with your brand. And like you said, it's good to give a full-bodied picture of all of the things that sort of you focus on with your brand and with your account. And I think you do a really good job of that. So fast forward a couple of years, Christa, you use live video so much. Tell us what you do with live video and some of the results you've seen from that.
I had not used a lot of live video until I got not quarantined, but I got in the stay at home time, right? So I started working from home instead of working in the office. And so the first week that I was home, I just started doing, I called it lunch break live, and I just started going on my lunch break just to get a break from my day, right? And so I started going on live that first week. And then after that, I thought, well, hey, let's invite some friends in. So for 7 weeks, I invited different people, friends. Some of them were influencers. Some of them were different, just friends I knew from different places. All of them were trying to build some kind of business or presence on Instagram. And so I invited them in every day for just a quick conversation to talk about what the quarantine was like at their house, what were they working on, what projects were they working on, and what was really God showing them during that time of stay at home. And they were amazing conversations. And so, that's where I kind of started really loving to do the live and do the live interviews, especially right now when things are all shut down, all the conferences are canceled. People with books and products are looking for ways to get their message out. So a lot of people are saying yes to things that they wouldn't have said yes to before. And doing an Instagram interview is really, really easy. So, bigger influencer people that normally would have said no to me because they're so busy, they said yes because they needed to get their message out, and it was easy and it was something they knew how to do. So it's been a huge boost to my brand, to my business, to my credibility. I really, really loved doing those interviews. And so now I try to do one, every 2 or 3 weeks now that I'm back at work and things are a little bit more structured for most people. I still try to do a lunch break live every 2 or 3 weeks.
And so that is a good example of just adapting to your situation as far as if you're home all the time. Once you were home all the time and working from home, you could do more lives, right, and you leveraged that to build your brand. And then now that you're back in the office, you're working on just doing one every 2 to 3 weeks. And that's the beauty of it. You can make it work with your schedule. You don't have to be a slave to live video.
No, you're right. It's been able to be adaptable to what whatever I am at the time. And it's also really helped me to get other opportunities. So out of inviting those people in, and sharing my platform with them and letting them share about their projects, I was able to also book other podcast interviews. I booked a summit position on one. I've been able to create other collaborations out of it. So just reaching out, taking that first step and say, hey, do something easy with me, has opened the door to a lot of other opportunities to share what I do with other people and interact with people.
And you said a key word there, an interesting point is collaborations. Mm. We can leverage the power of live video and having guests on. That's so powerful. Tell me some of the reasons that it is so powerful for you.
Well, anytime that you're trying to build a brand or build a business or a service, you need to get your message out in front of people. And then those people have to get to know, like, and trust you before they're going to purchase for you. Well, the best way to get over that know, like, and trust hurdle is for someone they already know, like, and trust to endorse you. And they endorse you by doing projects with you. All of my audience knows that I trust Ruthie, and they will all go to Ruthie for Instagram help when they need it because they know that I trust her and that I've recommended her and that I've done projects with her. So it's the same when you do collaborations with anybody. When they do a project with you, their audience now sees you as someone that they can get to know, like, and trust. It's the fastest way to get over that hurdle and get to a point where people are willing to consider your products and services.
That's right. We need each other. We are better together. And just like iron sharpening iron, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have seen really good results from going live so much. Has your audience grown a good bit then during these last 7 weeks of going live every day?
Yeah, I think my audience has grown about 20 or 25% since the early part of the year. So it's growing steadily, every day, new followers. It's not been a huge, viral thing, but it's been steady growth that I can keep up with. I don't know what I would do if I woke up one day. I have a friend who she did something a little bit controversial and woke up the next day and had, 8,000 new followers and a phone full of DMs. And I'm like, I don't know what I would do if that happened to me. So I'm happy with just slow, consistent growth that I can. It's still small enough that I feel okay if I'm practicing things, and it's I can try things without feeling like 20,000 people are going to see it. I can just try things, and if I mess up, it's okay. And my audience knows that that I'm working on it, and they're working on theirs too. So we're doing it together.
Yes. So that just brings up a really good, valid point. Not to despise the day of small things. So many people come to me and they're like, when am I going to get, to as many followers as you have, which, I'm not even at 10,000 yet, but it's enough for me right now to manage. And, they're like, I have so much to learn. Well, you have to start somewhere. That's what I did. Mm-hmm. That's what Christa did. And so just start, because you got to put one foot in front of the other. That's just how. Yeah. So, Christa, I want to delve in a little bit to some of your productivity tips when it comes to Instagram and running your account. Share that with us.
Yeah, well, I do have to plan ahead if it's going to happen, but it also has to be something that I can do on the run. Now, I have not yet started using any of the schedulers that will automatically post for me, although you are convincing me that I need to do that. But I like to be able to, for me on Instagram, it's so important that those first 20 minutes after you post on your feed are so important when people comment on it for you to be able to comment back. And so for me, with my schedule at work, I want to control when I post so that I post and I know I'm going to be able to engage in that first half an hour or so after the post goes live. So I haven't looked into how to do that with schedulers yet. But what I do is I have a Trello board that I have for all of my social media, and I try to plan out my Instagram content in 2-week blocks. I try to post on my feed 4 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then sometime over the weekend. And I have a sequence of 8 different types of posts that I rotate through. So I learned these at the Blistum conference. And so it is, it's personal, educational, aspirational, promotional, relatable, transformational, conversational, and inspirational. And what I like about that is that it's not specific to my business. And so on the conversational day, if I want to have a conversational post about my business, I can, or I can have a conversational post about, what I did that weekend, or a conversational post about what I learned at church that week. So it keeps my feed fresh, and it keeps me from being totally focused on my business, because as you and in the coaching group have been encouraging me to show more of my personal side. And so as I have done that, having these types of posts has really helped me, rather than having specific categories of business, personal, whatever. So that's the way that I plan it out in 2-week blocks of those 8 things. I put the caption in Trello, and I put the whatever picture or meme or graphic or whatever I'm going to use on my camera roll on my phone. So if you see me miss a day, it's because I didn't have time to do my 2-week block, and then I start having to scramble, and that really frustrates me. And it reminds me why it's important for me to set aside time to do my 2-week block. So yeah, that was how I organized my Instagram.
Wow, that's awesome. I like that.
The Trello is something that, you have to use what you're comfortable with. So Trello is what I use for everything in my organizational world, in my business world. So that's where I live, is in my Trello board. So that's where I am, rather than having to open up and learn something else. Just like you said, you have to start where you are. So start with what you're comfortable with, start with what's easy for you. Then once you get the hang of it, then now maybe I'm ready to try something like Later that I know you recommend, and try to use something else that is more customized for Instagram. I'm sure it will be more productive. But for me, part of productivity is using the tools, maximizing your use of those so that you're only in one place at a time. And then once you've maxed out the usefulness and it's just not working for you anymore, then try adding on something else.
Yeah, that's a good tip, Christa. You have to start where you are. You have to use what you know and just maximize your time however you can. I'm a big proponent of a scheduler, especially later.com, because that's my world. That's where I live. I mostly teach Instagram and make sure that I have my plan together on every Friday. I have it set up for the next week, and I may tweak as I go during the week, but at least I have my graphics all uploaded in there and I have my copy in there. I'm ready to go when it's ready to go. And actually with Later, you can auto post with the paid version. But even with the free version, you'll get a notification from your phone and you can post it then. But again, I admire that you have correlated all that with Trello and you practice what you preach about just the whole productivity thing. I love that.
Yeah, it's really helpful for me. And so, yeah, I'm just about maxed out for what, though, I think I can do on Trello. And I'm probably going to be looking into using a scheduler here pretty soon.
Well, and that's one thing. If there seems to be a good interest towards maybe having a workshop. I may do a workshop on Later because a lot of people ask me a lot of questions on Later. And I have a lot of tips and tricks that I use with it to help just maximize all of the software inside of it. So that may be the impetus I need to get that started.
Sign me up.
Okay. Well, Christa, it's been lovely to have you here, friend. And I would like to ask you, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Do a New Thing. And then also on Facebook at Do a New Thing and at my website, doanewthing.com. So yeah, that's where I am.
Do a new thing.
Yeah.
And so is there something that you have that people can access that can just like quickly get them started getting productive more with their time?
Yes, you can go to the link in my bio and you'll find on that page at the bottom a place where you can get a to-do list management training there. And so you can learn how to use your to-do list better and not let your to-do list run you. So you can grab that at the link in my profile.
Everybody needs that. Everybody needs more productivity tips. The more, the better, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again, girl. And we will see you on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Ruthie. It's been fun.
Wow. I don't know about you, but Christa's tips on going live and attracting more followers in business had me wanting to have even more guests on live video. And I love live video. It's such a cool tool to use on the platform to grow your following. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. So tap into it. So I know we mentioned her posting tips using Trello, and followers are always asking for better, faster ways to get the posting process done. So Christa has agreed to do a workshop showing us exactly how she uses Trello to cut her posting time in half. You can get in on this, and it's also going to have a handy guided checklist, but it's right inside my 12-week Insider Intensive community starting January 4th, the one I told you about at the beginning of this podcast. So it's one of the 12 focused trainings that you'll access, including, among other things, driving traffic from your bio, image planning and design, and more. 12 different little workshops. And here's another secret. I'm doing a workshop sharing my personal scheduling secrets using my favorite scheduler also. Again, this special training starts Monday, January 4th and runs for 12 weeks. And Cyber Monday, the Black Friday sale goes away at midnight. So go check it out really quick and see if it's for you or not. But if you're listening to this later, just be sure to keep your eyes peeled for when the doors open again, because they will, and you'll be able to access Christa's and my training as well as the other things too. So this is the biggest, best, most focused Instagram training I've ever done. And I've been testing the model all 2020. So when you finish, you're going to have all the tools in your back pocket to make the platform work for you. So go check it out ASAP if this is Cyber Monday. And if not, there will still be something that you will be able to access to read about it and get on board and get in line for when the doors open up again, because it could be sooner than you think. You don't want to miss out on that, do you? It's pretty juicy. All right, I'll see you next week.